Good evening, Seoul. This is your evening news on 101.2 FM. I'm Kim Ji-woo, bringing you the latest updates. We have some breaking news tonight that we want to make sure you hear as soon as possible. There have been reports of some unusual incidents in the Gangnam district this afternoon. Authorities are calling it isolated aggressive behavior. We're still waiting on more details, but sources say the situation appears to be escalating. Several eyewitnesses have described individuals attacking others without provocation. Police are urging everyone in the area to remain cautious and avoid crowded areas. We're also hearing reports of a few minor injuries, but no fatalities as of yet. The situation is contained for now, but officials are closely monitoring the area.
It's time for a big bowl of belly-full ramen. When life gets crazy, nothing beats the comfort of a hot bowl of ramen. Whether you're dealing with deadlines, your in-laws, or, hey, maybe even a little disturbance in Gangnam, Bellyful has you covered. Packed with flavor and made in minutes, Bellyful Ramen is the easiest way to feed your cravings and your whole family. Available now at all major convenience stores.
Even when you feel low, you can still go.
This is 101.FM, and I'm Kim Ji-woo, bringing you the latest developments. We regret to inform you that we are receiving more concerning reports from the southern districts of the city. It seems the incidents in Gangnam have escalated. Authorities are still referring to this as isolated aggressive behavior, but the situation is proving to be more serious than initially thought. There are reports of individuals attacking not only passersby, but also several police officers responding to the disturbance. What began as isolated events in Gangnam has now spread to the neighborhoods of Seoul, and most recently, we've been hearing from the Sinchon area in the south. Witnesses have described the attackers as unusually strong. Many of them are. Emergency services are stretched thin, and local hospitals are advising people with minor injuries to avoid coming in unless absolutely necessary. If you are in or around the affected districts, please stay indoors and lock all windows and doors. The authorities are asking for the public to remain calm but vigilant. If you're hearing this from your safe place, do what you can to help your neighbors. We'll get through this, Seoul. Stay safe. Plumbing problems. Don't let your pipes burst under pressure. All Park's Plumbing Solutions, your go-to experts for everything from leaky faucets to burst pipes. Whether you're fixing a simple clog or handling an unexpected flood, Parks will make sure everything stays flowing smoothly. And yes, we'll even make house calls in the middle of the night if the situation demands it. Parks Plumbing Solutions, because life can be unpredictable. This is 101.2 FM, Seoul's trusted source for breaking news. I'm Kim Ji-woo, and we're bringing you urgent updates tonight. If you've just tuned in, please listen carefully. Things have escalated quickly in the past few hours. It started as isolated incidents of violent behavior in the southern districts has now spread across the entire city. Police have confirmed that the situation is far beyond what they had anticipated. Roadblocks have been established in multiple districts, and emergency response units are being stretched thinner by the minute. Seoul's hospitals are now reporting an overwhelming number of patients, many of whom have been brought in with injuries that can't be explained. Multiple reports of bite wounds, people exhibiting violent behavior. Authorities are still working on identifying the cause of these injuries, but there is growing concern that the virus spreading across the city may be more than just a localized infection. All public transit has been temporarily suspended, and citizens are urged to remain indoors until further notice. Martial law has not been declared, but the government is actively considering it. And we're hearing from sources that emergency curfews could be imposed in the coming hours. Reports from the Gangnam district are still coming in. Some eyewitnesses are describing individuals, what they're calling attacks, involving people seemingly attacking others without reason. And in some cases, multiple people are being bitten. The number of attacks is rapidly increasing, and authorities are working hard to maintain order. We're being told by sources that the virus, yes, you heard that right, officials are now calling it a virus, appears to be transmitted through bites. Majority of cases are being reported in the districts of Gangnam, Seoul, and now spreading to parts of Itaewon. Few survivors have reportedly escaped into the northern parts of the city, and the authorities are working to contain the outbreak, but they fear it's too widespread to control without outside assistance. We'll keep you updated with all the latest information as soon as we receive it. Please stay inside, keep your doors and windows locked, and avoid contact with others unless absolutely necessary.
Is your life feeling a little crazy right now? You need a cafe mocha, your favorite pick-me-up, guaranteed to get you through the madness. Whether you're huddling indoors with your loved ones or taking cover from the chaos, nothing helps you get through the day like a creamy, rich mocha. Made fresh every time by the pros who know how to make a cup that's just as sweet as it is strong. For a limited time, try our end of the world special, double shot mocha with a sprinkle of mystery. You'll be coming back for more. Cafe Mocha. Drink the madness. Available at your nearest location.
Well, there you have it. An ad to help get you through what's been a very dark evening here in Seoul. Now, back to the news. Another report from the Seoul Health Department. Hospitals are now prioritizing only the most critical injuries. We're hearing that a number of medical staff have also been exposed, which is putting a strain on the healthcare system. If you're experiencing symptoms, including fever, fatigue, or bite marks, the health department is asking you to stay at home and avoid public spaces unless absolutely necessary. Citizens are also being advised to avoid large gatherings. If you see something suspicious, people acting erratically, aggressive behavior, do not approach. We've been warned that the virus spreads quickly, and those who exhibit signs should be considered a danger to others. If you're hearing this, please heed the warnings, stay safe, and stay inside. We'll continue to keep you updated as we receive more information. This is Kim Ji-woo with 101.2 FM.
Is your home apocalypse proof? No? Then it's time to upgrade with Steel Shield doors. Whether you're worried about burglars, nosy neighbors, or the living dead, Steel Shield has you covered. Doors are guaranteed to withstand any threat. Seriously, you could drive a tank into them, and they'd barely scratch. For a limited time, we're offering a free installation if you call now. That's right, folks. Don't let the end of the world catch you unprepared. Choose Steel Shield, because your family's safety is worth it.
This is Kim Ji-woo, and we are continuing to monitor the increasingly dire situation here in the capital. If you've been following the news, you already know that the virus we've been tracking has spread beyond all expectations. Reports are flooding in from nearly every district now, with confirmed cases in Gangnam, Itaewon, and even parts of Mapo. Local authorities are doing their best to maintain order, but as the night wears on, it's clear that the situation is spiraling out of control. Hospitals are overwhelmed. We've been informed that nearly every hospital in Seoul has reached capacity. Some are even turning away patients. Emergency services have issued a statement urging citizens with non-life-threatening injuries to seek shelter and avoid hospitals if possible. If you're at home with a family member or friend who has symptoms, please keep them isolated from the rest of the household. A statement released earlier today, the Seoul government confirmed that medical personnel have been exposed, and several hospitals are operating at a fraction of their capacity. As a result, they've been forced to put out a call for military assistance. In fact, the military is now on standby. The Ministry of Defense has confirmed that the army will be deployed if the situation continues to worsen. It's unclear what exactly the military will be doing, but we are hearing reports that they will be helping with security and possibly transporting critical supplies. The government has called for calm, urging all residents to stay inside and avoid unnecessary contact with others. Police forces are stretched thin as well, and they're increasingly focusing their resources on preventing panic and looting. They're also working hard to contain large groups of people, especially in crowded areas like the subway stations. The public is reminded to avoid any form of gathering. And if you're outside, make sure to keep your distance from others. Authorities are working tirelessly to contain the virus, but we're hearing more alarming reports every hour. I've just received a message from an anonymous source in Gangnam, stating that civilians are beginning to barricade themselves in their homes as more attacks are reported in the streets. It started as isolated incidents of people displaying erratic behavior, has now evolved into something far more violent and widespread. Eyewitnesses say that some of the individuals who have been attacked are not staying down. They're getting back up, showing signs of aggression that defy normal human behavior. At this time, we are urging everyone to stay home, especially for families that have elderly members or small children. But if you can't make it to a safe place, remain in your homes. Lock doors and windows and keep away from the streets. Authorities have begun setting up roadblocks in key areas to try to control movement. It is becoming clear that things are getting much worse before they get better. In light of the growing number of cases, the government has officially declared the virus a public health emergency. This means that all public gatherings are prohibited. And we're also hearing reports of quarantine zones being set up on the outskirts of the city. If you're near the border of Seoul, authorities are recommending you stay where you are until further notice. Keep you updated on these developments, but for now, stay inside.
It's time for a big bowl of belly-full ramen. When life gets crazy, nothing beats the comfort of a hot bowl of ramen. Whether you're dealing with deadlines, your in-laws, or, hey, maybe even a little disturbance in Gangnam, Bellyful has you covered. Packed with flavor and made in minutes, Bellyful Ramen is the easiest way to feed your cravings and your whole family. Available now at all major convenience stores.
Is your life feeling a little crazy right now? You need a cafe mocha, your favorite pick-me-up, guaranteed to get you through the madness. Whether you're huddling indoors with your loved ones or taking cover from the chaos, nothing helps you get through the day like a creamy, rich mocha. Made fresh every time by the pros who know how to make a cup that's just as sweet as it is strong. For a limited time, try our end of the world special, double shot mocha with a sprinkle of mystery. You'll be coming back for more. Cafe Mocha, drink the madness. Available at your nearest location.
MG Woo here with an urgent update. If you're just tuning in, please stay with us. What we are about to report is deeply unsettling. The situation has taken a sudden and terrifying turn for the worse. We've confirmed that panic is now spreading faster than the infection itself. Multiple districts across the city have been plunged into chaos. What was once a health crisis is now a full-scale panic crisis. As of earlier this evening, law enforcement lost control in several areas. Yongsan, Gwanghwamun, and now, even parts of Jeonno. We're hearing reports of widespread violence in the streets. A small number of survivors are holed up in buildings, barricading themselves, but it's only a matter of time before the infected find their way inside. Several eyewitnesses have described scenes where people who were infected earlier, before the city went into lockdown, are now reanimating in the streets, showing heightened aggression. In fact, just a few hours ago, we received a harrowing report from a reporter on the ground in the heart of Seoul, saying that in the districts now under quarantine, people, residents, are attacking anyone who tries to leave their homes or venture too close to a barricade. We have confirmed these reports of friendly fire, if you will, across multiple neighborhoods. Earlier today, a full lockdown was implemented for the Gangnam district. Authorities are urging you to stay in your homes. Emergency medical services have ceased to function in those zones. Hospitals are now officially overwhelmed and cannot accept new patients. Spokesperson for the Ministry of Health issued a chilling statement. We are now facing a total collapse of the healthcare system. At this stage, we are unable to guarantee safety or provide emergency medical services. To make matters worse, we're hearing that the hospitals, which have been overwhelmed with infected patients, are now themselves becoming dangerous hotbeds for further outbreaks. Military units have been deployed to keep order in the quarantine zones, but they're no match for the mass panic that's sweeping the city. If you're still listening, you need to understand, this is no longer an isolated incident. It's an outbreak, and it's spreading faster than we can keep up with. The government has officially declared a state of emergency in the entire city, and they've begun setting up quarantine zones in the suburbs, but we don't know how much longer these zones will remain intact. They're calling on everyone to stay indoors. Don't leave unless absolutely necessary. I just received confirmation that the National Assembly has officially evacuated its offices. The Prime Minister and other senior government officials are believed to have fled the capital. The news is sketchy, but this is what we're hearing.
Citizens of Korea, today, I address you during an unprecedented challenge. A new and dangerous infection has emerged. It is unlike anything we have faced before. Reports confirm that it causes extreme aggression in those infected. While this news is alarming, I want to assure you, we are in control. Your government is working tirelessly to ensure the safety of every citizen. Scientists, healthcare workers, and security forces are fully mobilized to handle this situation. The most important thing now is to remain calm, stay informed, and follow our guidance. What we are doing protecting public safety. Emergency response teams have been deployed. Curfews are in place in affected areas to limit movement. Providing medical care. Quarantine zones have been established. Experts are working on treatments and a vaccine. Essential goods, including food and water, will continue to be distributed. Avoid going outside unless necessary. Follow all curfew orders. Stay safe. Report any signs of infection through the official hotline. Avoid crowds and keep emergency supplies on hand. Stay informed. Follow government updates only. Ignore rumors and unverified information. I understand that many of you are scared. This is natural. But we are a strong nation, and we will get through this together. We have faced challenges before, and we have always prevailed. I will continue to update you as we work to resolve this crisis. Your safety is our top priority. Trust in the process, support one another, and remain vigilant. Together, we will overcome. Thank you.
If you can't stay inside, find shelter. And if you're near a quarantine zone, don't try to leave. I can't stress this enough. People who've tried to leave quarantine zones have been stopped by military and police officers. Some have been shot on sight. We're hearing unconfirmed reports of an outbreak in the suburbs. And right now, we have no further details. At this point, it's safe to say that this is no longer an isolated issue. It's become a full-blown disaster. I'm getting word that the military is preparing for an evacuation of the most critical areas of Seoul. But we're unclear on where exactly they'll be taking people, or how they're managing the transportation. If you're hearing this, we urge you to stay inside for your safety. Stay in your homes. Barricade doors and windows. Do not open them for anyone unless you're absolutely sure they're not infected. The situation is beyond critical, and we need to be vigilant. The infected are unlike anything we've ever seen before. And if you're in any of the quarantine zones, expect the worst.
Tired of running on empty? Then you need Mr. Kim's beef jerky. Freshly made every time, Mr. Kim's jerky will fill you up with that smoky, savory goodness. Perfect for when you're on the go, holed up in your apartment, or just need a quick snack to get you through a tough day. And guess what? It lasts for days. Even if the world outside is falling apart. Pick up a pack today. All 555 jerky for fast delivery.
Good evening, Seoul. This is Kim Ji-woo, bringing you updates from 101.2 FM. Tonight, the cracks in our quarantine efforts have widened, and what was once a coordinated effort to contain this outbreak is now slipping through our fingers. The official number of infected continues to rise, but at this point, it's impossible to keep track. Let's face it, listeners, we've lost control. Earlier this evening, the military began what it's calling a tactical retreat.
My friends and fellow soldiers, we've faced challenges before, but today, I need you to trust me as we make a difficult decision. After assessing the situation, it's clear that holding this position isn't the best course of action. To preserve our strength and ensure we can continue our mission, we must execute a tactical retreat. This is not a failure, it's a strategy. A retreat isn't about giving up, it's about repositioning ourselves to fight smarter and live to see tomorrow's opportunities. I need your discipline, focus, and trust. Stay alert, stick to the plan, and support one another. Our unity and teamwork are what set us apart, and they'll see us through this. This decision wasn't made lightly, but it's the right one. By regrouping, we ensure we can return stronger and more prepared. This isn't the end, it's a new beginning. Thank you for your courage and commitment. Together, we'll overcome this challenge and move forward toward success. Dismissed.
That's a fancy way of saying they've abandoned certain zones entirely. Reports from Mapo and Yeongdeungpo indicate that the military checkpoints there have been completely overrun. Survivors in these areas were left with no warning and no protection as the infected swarmed through the streets. We've received heart-wrenching accounts from families trapped in their homes, unable to evacuate in time. One man from Mapo called our station just an hour ago, begging for help. He told us his wife and 2 daughters had been bitten, but he couldn't bring himself to leave them behind.
They're still my family. They're still them. I know what people would say. Get out. Save yourself. But how do you walk away from the people you love? How do you leave the people who made you who you are? It's not their fault. They didn't ask for this. This thing took them. It twisted them. But deep down, I know they're still in there. They have to be. I hear them. Every sound. My wife, my little boy. It's not just growls and snarls. Sometimes I think I hear their voices, like they're calling for me. Maybe it's all in my head, or maybe they're fighting it. What kind of husband would I be if I left her? What kind of father walks away from his son? I can't do it. I won't do it. I've barricaded the doors, boarded the windows. It's quiet outside now, but for how long? I know I can't stay here forever. Supplies are running low, and every creak of the house feels like a countdown. But leaving? Leaving means giving up on them. People talk about survival instincts, about doing whatever it takes to make it out alive. But for me, survival doesn't mean anything if it costs me my family. If there's even the smallest chance, if there's any way I can save them, I have to try. They'd do the same for me. So I'll stay. I'll stay until I can't anymore. And when that time comes, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
This outbreak isn't just taking lives, it's tearing families apart. In the last 24 hours, the Ministry of Health has stopped issuing updates altogether. But little communication we've had from government officials suggests that evacuation orders will soon extend beyond Seoul. Those still holding on to hope that the quarantine zones will hold, I urge you to reconsider. These walls won't keep the infected out for long. There are reports, unconfirmed, but coming from multiple sources, that soldiers have begun abandoning their posts. Some have been spotted fleeing the city in stolen vehicles, while others have been seen turning their guns on civilians trying to breach quarantine zones. Earlier today, a mob of desperate survivors stormed a barricade near Hongdae. They were met with live ammunition. The footage is horrifying.
The scene here in the capital is tense and rapidly changing. Behind me, you can see military vehicles patrolling the streets, and soldiers have set up checkpoints at key intersections. Earlier today, demonstrators clashed with troops after a peaceful march turned violent when tear gas and rubber bullets were deployed to disperse the crowd. There's a growing sense of fear among residents. Many we've spoken to say they're afraid to leave their homes, worried that the military's actions could escalate further. One protester I spoke to described the situation as a war zone, while others are calling for calm and dialogue. However, trust between citizens and the authorities appears to be eroding. Just hours ago, we received unverified reports of soldiers threatening force against those who refuse to comply with curfews. We've also heard accounts of property being seized and civilians being detained without explanation. It's worth noting that the government claims these measures are necessary to restore order and ensure public safety. But for many, these actions are only deepening the divide.
These are not criminals, Seoul. These are people like you and me. Fathers, mothers, children. just trying to survive. And yet, in the chaos, the infected broke through as well. We're hearing that the situation near Hongdae is now completely unmanageable. If you're in that area, God help you. I want to leave you with this, Seoul. If you're listening, if you're still alive and still fighting, know that you're not alone.
Is your home apocalypse proof? No? Then it's time to upgrade with Steel Shield doors. Whether you're worried about burglars, nosy neighbors, or the living dead, Steel Shield has you covered. Doors are guaranteed to withstand any threat. Seriously, you could drive a tank into them, and they'd barely scratch. For a limited time, we're offering a free installation if you call now. That's right, folks. Don't let the end of the world catch you unprepared. Choose Steel Shield, because your family's safety is worth it.
This is Kim Ji-woo with 101.2 FM. And tonight we ask the question on everyone's mind. Who is to blame for this nightmare? The government in hiding, the Ministry of Health silent, and the military abandoning quarantine zones faster than a sinking ship. The people of this city are desperate for answers. Let's start with what we know. 10 days ago, this city was alive, bustling with markets, cafes, and the noise we've all taken for granted. A few sick patients at Uido General Hospital, dismissed as a localized flu outbreak. By the time anyone realized it wasn't flu, it was already too late. Hospitals overflowed. Emergency services collapsed. The infected were in the streets before the first government warning even aired. And here's the kicker. We're hearing whispers that the first cases weren't accidents. Anonymous sources, medical professionals, researchers, are pointing fingers at bioresearch labs. That's right, Seoul. Labs right here in our city, possibly tied to the very government that's supposed to protect us. One source, who claims to have worked in a level 4 biohazard facility in Gangseo district, described experiments involving highly infectious pathogens.
The Korean Advanced Pathogen Research Institute has been at the center of scientific innovation and controversy. Documents obtained by whistleblowers suggest that researchers here were conducting experiments to better understand zoonotic viruses, those that jump from animals to humans. Critics argue that this type of research may have unintentionally created a strain capable of causing the current outbreak. These claims remain unverified, but they are drawing attention from international watchdog groups and the scientific community. However, leaked emails and internal reports suggest there may have been breaches in safety protocols during recent experiments. One report, dated just months before the outbreak, mentions a containment failure involving a highly transmissible virus. It remains unclear whether this incident is connected to the current crisis.
She disappeared. Her colleagues, her family, gone without a trace. Coincidence? You tell me. Meanwhile, international fingers are pointing at us. Neighboring countries have closed their borders, claiming the outbreak originated here. Some are even threatening retaliation if the infection crosses their lines. And what does our government do? They vanish. No press conferences, no answers, just static. Seoul, I don't have the answers. I'm just a voice on the radio, trying to make sense of this madness like the rest of you. But I know this. Pointing fingers won't save us now. What matters is survival. Infected don't care who's to blame. They don't care about borders, politics, or conspiracies. They care about one thing: feeding. Stay alert. Stay alive. This is Kim Ji-woo, signing off for now.
Feeling tired, achy, or just weird? Try Zenefex 3000, the revolutionary new supplement designed to boost your energy, enhance your focus, and improve your lifespan. Zenefex 3000 is clinically proven to give you that extra oomph you need thanks to our patented biorestorative serum, sourced ethically, we promise. Side effects may include occasional skin irritation, mild groaning, and an uncontrollable craving for, well, let's not get into that. Ask your doctor if Zenefex 3000 is right for you. Kensington Pharmaceuticals, turning yesterday's failures into today's miracles. Remember the taste of simpler times? At Mom's Homemade Canned Goods, we seal the goodness of farm fresh veggies, juicy meats, and secret spices into every jar. Our new Backyard Harvest blend uses ingredients so fresh, they're practically alive. Don't ask how we grow our veggies so fast. It's just Mom's little secret. Stock up today, because who knows when you'll need a good meal. Or 10. Mom's Homemade Canned Goods. Taste the love. Consume before 2028 for best results.
Seoul, this is Kim Ji-woo with 101.2 FM. And if you thought things couldn't get worse, think again. Reports are pouring in tonight of infected individuals exhibiting behaviors that go beyond what we've seen so far. Survivors are claiming that some of the infected are changing. Let me paint you a picture. Earlier today in Jongno district, a survivor described being chased by an infected individual that seemed faster, more coordinated. Not just a shuffling husk of a person. No, this thing climbed a fence like it was born to do it. Another report from Gangnam tells of infected that appear to be communicating. One witness described hearing a low, guttural growl that drew a crowd of infected to her hiding spot within seconds. If these accounts are true, and I can't believe I'm saying this, it means the virus is mutating. What does that mean for the rest of us? It means no hiding place is safe for long. It means the strategies we've been using, quiet movements, avoiding large groups, might not work much longer. I don't know if these mutations are random or something worse. Survivor in Seoul claims she saw infected covered in strange sores, glowing faintly under dim light. I can't confirm this, but if the virus is adapting to find us, to hunt us down, then what chance do we have? How do we fight back against something that's constantly evolving? The scientists who were supposed to answer these questions are gone. The labs are silent. We're on our own, Seoul. This city is no longer just a battlefield. It's an experiment. And we're the rats. For those listening, don't panic. Prepare. Learn the patterns. Stay mobile. Whatever you do, don't underestimate them. These aren't the infected we faced last week. Survival means adaptation. Let's not let them outsmart us. This is Kim Ji-woo, holding on, just like you.
Tired of running on empty? Then you need Mr. Kim's beef jerky. Freshly made every time, Mr. Kim's jerky will fill you up with that smoky, savory goodness. Perfect for when you're on the go. Hold up in your apartment, or just need a quick snack to get you through a tough day. And guess what? It lasts for days. Even if the world outside is falling apart. Pick up a pack today. All 555 jerky for fast delivery.
Is your home apocalypse proof? No? Then it's time to upgrade with Steel Shield doors. Whether you're worried about burglars, nosy neighbors, or the living dead, Steel Shield has you covered. Doors are guaranteed to withstand any threat. Seriously, you could drive a tank into them, and they'd barely scratch. For a limited time, we're offering a free installation if you call now. That's right, folks. Don't let the end of the world catch you unprepared. Choose Steel Shield, because your family's safety is worth it.
This is Kim Ji-woo, reporting live from what was supposed to be Seoul's safest sanctuary, the quarantine zone near Gangnam Square. Night, that sanctuary is no more. At approximately 9:00 p.m., the barricades that once protected thousands of desperate survivors fell. Witnesses say the infected came not just from outside, but from within. Panic erupted when a supposed survivor, smuggled in by a well-meaning soldier, turned out to be infected. By the time anyone realized what was happening, it was too late. The infection spread like wildfire, tearing through the crowded camp in minutes. Families were separated. Soldiers abandoned their posts. The air was filled with screams, gunshots, and the sickening sound of the infected feasting. Survivor described it as a human meat grinder. Saw helicopters overhead, fully loaded, flying south. It didn't stop for us. It didn't stop for anyone. Those of you who are still listening, this is what survival looks like now. Every man, woman, and child for themselves. I watched a mother cradling her child, begging for someone to take them. I watched as she was dragged into the horde, clutching her baby like a lifeline. Soul, I'm supposed to give you hope. I'm supposed to tell you it'll be okay. But tonight, I don't know how to say that and mean it. If you're near a quarantine zone, don't go. It's no longer safe. Find higher ground. Keep moving. And whatever you do, don't trust the promise of safety. Safety is an illusion. Survival is all that's left. This is Kim Ji-woo with 101.2 FM. If you're hearing this, I don't know how you still are.
Feeling sluggish? Need a little boost? Bright Glow Energy Drink has the power to keep you moving, no matter what. Packed with exclusive electrolytes and experimental compounds straight from the Bright Glow lab, this isn't just an energy drink, it's an experience.
At Megacorp AgroSolutions, we're revolutionizing farming. With BioYield 2.0, we've engineered crops that grow faster, resist disease, and are fortified with enhanced proteins you can't find anywhere else. BioYield isn't just feeding the world, it's transforming it. Taste the future today. Warning, not FDA approved. May attract unregistered pests. Megacorp, because the future won't wait.
Seoul is gone. Moments ago, a series of explosions lit up the night sky. Firebombs dropped from military aircraft. Gangnam, Itaewon, even the Han River crossings, obliterated. Government, or what's left of it, has declared the entire city a loss. The infected can't have what no longer exists. He called it a containment measure. They call it a death sentence. There are still people here, thousands of them. Families, children, people like me broadcasting into the void. Now there's no way out. Earlier tonight, I received a report that the infected have reached Namsen Tower. It was a beacon for survivors, a symbol of hope. Now, it's just another feeding ground. One witness said the infected were climbing the tower, a wave of bodies pressing upward, as if even gravity couldn't stop them. It's not just a hunger for flesh anymore, it's a hunger to consume everything. If you're still alive, if you found a pocket of safety, stay there. Don't come to Seoul. The city has fallen. This is no longer a fight for survival. It's a fight against inevitability. I started this broadcast to keep hope alive. To tell you that someone out here was still fighting, still believing. But I'd be lying if I told you I feel any hope tonight. All I feel is loss. To those who've listened, thank you. To those who've survived, keep fighting. I don't know if this is my last broadcast, but if it is, know that you weren't alone. We're in this together. This is Kim Ji-woo, signing off.
This is an emergency alert message. This is not a test. This warning is for the following area.